Hey guys, Movie Fan 356 here coming at you with another movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, as you guys can probably tell, I'm a big Spidey fan right here. And I was really a big fan of the rebooted Mark Webb, The Amazing Spider-Man. So I was pretty excited to see the sequel. I just had a the marketing was so bad for this film. Towards the end, right before the release, I got a little iffy because they were showing way too much, and they were putting out new clips and new trailers and new marketing techniques, and it was just too much. I like to be surprised when I go into a movie a little bit. I don't want to piece together everything from the trailers, but that's about the only problem I had with the marketing. Overall, though, I really enjoyed The Amazing Spider Man 2. I know it's getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are still unsure about it, whether they like it or not. And which is understandable because there is a lot going on in this film. And if you guys haven't seen my reviews before, if you're new to my channel, I like to talk about general thoughts of the movie, give it a rating, and then I talk about some spoiler stuff. So if you guys haven't seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and you don't want to be spoiled, I'll let you know when we're going to get to the spoiler section of the review. But basically, the storyline is it's a couple months after the first Amazing Spider-Man ended, and Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, they're graduating, they're starting to move on with their lives, and they're kind of. Peter Parker is seeing flashes of uh, Gwen's dead father from the first movie, and he's scared because he made a promise to her father, and he doesn't want anything to happen to Gwen, so he's unsure whether dating her is a good idea or not. And he loves her to death, though, so it's a complicated thing going on with their relationship. And I'm going to talk about that. Andrew and Emma, their chemistry in this movie is spot on. I mean, they're together in real life, so it makes sense, but it translates so well to the big screen. You don't see that a lot. Um, and a lot of people would argue that the Gwen Peter relationship is the best part of this movie. Then you got three villains, and this I was a little concerned about because if you guys remember back in 2007, we got this movie, Spider Man 3, with three villains. You had Sandman, you had the New Goblin, and you had kind of Venom. This movie, you got Max Dillon, aka Electro. You got Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, aka the Green Goblin. Then you got Paul Giamatti as Alexei, however you pronounce it. It's Russian. I'm a comic book fan, but I was just reading the comics. I never really understood how to pronounce his name. Um, but he's the Rhino. So I thought this movie was gonna be. I mean, it looked like there was gonna be a lot going on, and there is a lot going on. But does it work out better than Spider-Man 3? I say absolutely yes, it does. Um, like I said, the casting is great. Andrew and Emma, we already covered them. Perfect, spot on. But I will go on and extend on that and saying that this is the best we've seen Spider-Man captured on the big screen. Andrew Garfield does a perfect job at playing not only Peter Parker in modern times, but also playing Spider-Man with his attitude and the way he has fun being Spider-Man. He enjoys being Spider-Man. And we didn't really get to see too much of that in the first one because it was his origin story. He was first becoming Spider Man, he was learning what he could do, and he had to stop this giant lizard. Um, in this one, though, you really, really get to see Andrew full on Spidey, which was great. And now let's move on to the villains. Jamie Foxx as Electro. Was Jamie Foxx good as Max Dillon? I don't know. It felt very Jim Carrey, Edward Nigma, Batman Forever to me. Um, I didn't care for that too much. But is he good as Electro? I would say yes. He's great as Electro. However, I found the character to be underused. You could have used Electro a lot more in this movie, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Um, Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, which I like James Franco as Harry Osborn in the Sam Raimi trilogy. But you know, as soon as I seen Dane DeHaan in Chronicle, I'm like, this kid's gonna be a great villain one day. And sure enough, a couple of years later, we find out that he's gonna be Harry Osborn, who is actually going to be the Green Goblin in this movie. It's not gonna be Norman Osborn. And did I like him as Harry Osborn? Yeah, I think I like Dane DeHaan's version of Harry Osborn better. And but as his Green Goblin, I'll get to that a little bit later because that is kind of spoilerish. Um, then you got Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. I had a theory about the Rhino. I'm not going to say what it is because it's actually what happened in the movie for the most part. And that's kind of spoilerish, so I'm not going to give that away right now. But I think Rhino was used pretty well, even though a lot of people are going to disagree with that. So yeah, Sally Field is returning as Aunt May in this film, and she's a great Aunt May. I love Sally Field as Aunt May. And if you guys seen the first Amazing Spider-Man, and you thought she was good in that, she's even better in this one. So it's just a really good, fun film. Then you got some supporting characters in there, little Easter eggs that I'm not gonna mention right now because they are kind of spoilers. So I guess I'm gonna probably give it a rating. Like I said, I really did enjoy this film. Is it better than the first The Amazing Spider-Man? I don't know. Is it better than Spider-Man 3 because there is so much stuff going on? Yes, because this one balances it out a little bit better. Uh, Actually, a lot better, but it could have been a little bit better than what it turned out to be. And let's just say I hope we get an extended director's cut or something. I doubt it's going to happen, but I want one. And I know all the deleted scenes are going to be on the Blu-ray and the DVD and stuff like that. I want to see them in the movie. Any problems I had with this film? The marketing. There was so much stuff. Just like with the first Amazing Spider-Man, there was so much stuff in the trailer. It's like all these other plot points and storylines that aren't even in the movie. I mean, forget the whole Mary Jane thing. We knew Mary Jane was going to be in this movie, and they ended up cutting her out because they wanted to focus on Peter and Gwen. I get that. That's not what I'm talking about. Um, Kind of spoilerish right here. The part where in the trailer where Harry Osborn is talking to Peter and he says Oscorp has had you under surveillance, and that whole plot point would have been cool, but it's not in the movie at all. Not just that scene. That whole storyline is gone. So I'm really hoping we get to see more of that. Pardon me. There's stuff going on outside. I got distracted for a second. Um, but like I said, okay, rating. I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I know I'm in probably the minority because I've seen a bunch of mixed stuff, and I think there's more people who hate it than people who liked it. Um, but yes, would I recommend The Amazing Spider-Man 2? If you're a fan of the first Amazing Spider-Man, if you're a fan of Spider-Man in general, go check it out. Give it a chance. It's up to you to decide whether you're going to like it or not. Now we're going to talk about some spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 yet, go ahead and click out of this video, go watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then come back and watch the rest of this video later on. Spoilers. Okay, so one of the biggest problems I had with this movie, like I said, is the Electro was underused a lot. There's only like 2 fight scenes with the Electro in the entire movie. There's the Times Square scene, and there's the big final confrontation and I mean, Electro appears in the movie a couple other times, but I wish there would have been more fight sequences. I wish there just would have been a little bit more Electro because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx as Electro a lot. I just thought his character was underused. Um, Same thing with Dane DeHaan as the Green Goblin. He doesn't, much like Venom, he doesn't become the Green Goblin until like the last half hour of the movie. And it's just, I wish, I understand character development, I get all that, and you wanted to build up on, the whole Harry Osborn dying thing, which I get that, and I would, let me just say, I'm fine with them using Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin. I was fine with them not using Norman. At first I was unsure, but when I saw the movie I'm like, okay, it works for this particular story that's going on. So I'm fine with that. I just wanted to see more of the Green Goblin. Um, and Rhino, my theory was okay. He's gonna fight Rhino in the beginning, but I thought he would be in the full Rhino costume and all that. He was gonna fight. Spider Man was gonna fight Rhino in the beginning. He was gonna lock Rhino up, and Rhino would have broken free or got released at the end of the movie, setting him up for the Sinister Six. And that's essentially pretty much what happened. Only he wasn't in the Rhino outfit when Spidey fought him in the beginning of the movie. So the whole Sinister Six thing, I'm excited to see, but much like Captain America, this was a big, long trailer for the Sinister Six, essentially, and I think the movie fell a little flat from that. I mean, the Sinister Six stuff was cool, don't get me wrong. I just think it could have had less things in there, like with the Sinister Six stuff. Supporting characters, you got Alistair Smythe in there for a couple scenes. I don't know if Mark Webb's planning on using him at all ever again, but it was a cool little nod to us fans. Same thing with Felicia Hardy, who's working at Oscorp. If you guys don't know, Felicia Hardy becomes the Black Cat. She's essentially Spider-Man's equivalent of Catwoman. That's basically but have Felicia Hardy work at Oscorp, I thought was fun. You know, I enjoyed. We don't even know if her last name's Hardy. They just say her name's Felicia. I'm speculating here, but I'm hoping we get to see the Black Cat in future installments because I do like the Black Cat and I want to see her on screen. Um, but yeah, it was a cool little nod to us. So yeah, I only had a couple minor problems with it. Just some of the stuff that was cut from the trailers and the movies, or from the movie that was shown in the trailer. The villains were underused. Um, I mean, Norman Osborn dying, I was fine with because I was hoping that hey, maybe post credit scene they'll bring him back and he's not really dead. Maybe he faked his death or something. No, we got a. That's another thing. The post credit scene is a clip of X Men Days of Future Past, which I will be talking about. So look out for that. But still, um, I just I wish they would have been a Spidey post credit scene. I know why though. There was that whole deal with Fox and Mark Webb and all that and Sony, and I get why it was there, but I really wanted a second post credit scene that involved Spider Man at least. Um, so yeah, I just had a couple minor problems with it personally. Maybe I'm a little biased because I am such a big Spidey fan, but go check out The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for yourself. Drop your comments below. Um, what you guys thought of the movie if you have seen it. And I'm going to steal a little method that most YouTubers use when they do a movie review. I'm going to ask you a question based on the movie that I'm talking about. And so I'm going to leave you guys with this. What is your favorite Spider Man villain or Spider Man movie so far? Drop your comments down below. Let me know. And that's all I can say for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.